Alright, what up y'all, it's Way Breezy here, and we are live from the Texas setup. This backdrop should only be a thing for like 1 or 2 videos, and then I'm gonna be back home. Obviously, it's a different mic, I sound a little different. Everything's a little different at this setup. But anyways, this video is about the duality of emotions, or just being an emotional man, and how the turmoil of society can really make you feel like being numb is the best way to go as a man. I used to feel everything, like the love, anger, joy, grief, like at both sides of the spectrum. I could swing one way and swing the other way very hard. I mean, every emotion hit like a fucking wave. And now I'm trying to find that and get that back, but I feel almost nothing at most times. I feel numb. This isn't really a story about how like being an emotional person made me stronger. It's more so a story about how feeling everything in a world that basically punishes it eventually just makes a man numb. There was a time where I felt like I loved so much harder. Like I could look into somebody's eyes and understand them without speaking words. I cried over movies. I looked at a sunset and cried. The sound of an old song from my childhood. The fucking dog commercials. I know y'all remember those Bet commercials with the sad ass dogs. That shit used to fuck me up. I was always like the guy that like felt too much and like cried too much and was too emotional. You know, like the dude who like cared too much. Like, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much about what's going on? Why do you care so much about that, what that person thinks? It gave me meaning until it didn't anymore. You get your heart broken a few too many times and you open up and get mocked or used because of your vulnerability, or you cry and you get called weak and you know you're not a man for crying, or you care and somebody calls you clingy, you know, and says you're doing too much. You speak up and then people just tell you to calm the fuck down, like all the time. It's like, calm down, why are you being like that? It's so easy as a man when all these things are just stacked up against you, and every time you try to be emotional and let out your true self, you just get like shamed for it by everybody around you. And I know in a weird way the tides are kind of turning to where people want men to open up, but that's only one side of the spectrum. Like the other side of the spectrum is like, you're weak, you know, you are weak, you're crying, and most of it comes from other men, father figures or older men that were also just taught that you can't be emotional, you know, like it was instilled in them and they just carried it on from generation to generation. It's becoming very evident that there is a huge generation of men that are raised by emotionally unavailable men. A lot of our dads, if you're watching this video, your dad was probably not an emotional man growing up, and that was your number one male role model. So now you're somewhat of a carbon copy of him, you know, or similar to him in some type of way. To me, that kind of sucks. I hate that. We're in a society today where men are losing more power than they ever have. And not that they're losing more power, but they're not viewed as highly as they always were. You know, it's a very normal sentence to say the man is not the man of the house. You know, like the man is not at the helm of the home. That's a very reasonable thing to say nowadays, and a lot of people won't look at you sideways. You know, I feel like we're in a time where men need to speak up more than ever. They need to be understood more than ever. And I'm not trying to turn this into like a male versus woman thing. I'm also not trying to turn this into like some red pill shit. But due to a lot of the circumstances and societal norms, a lot of men are shutting down. Like not all at once, but piece by piece. They'll lose this feeling and they'll lose that feeling, and they'll stop caring about this topic and they'll stop crying over this thing. And when a woman says this to them, it doesn't even faze them anymore because they've been heartbroken so many times. And then one day you realize that you haven't felt anything in months. You haven't felt shit. And the sad part about it is a lot of men don't even miss that. They're fine with that. They're fine with not feeling any emotions because they're done with the crying, they're done with the sadness, they're done with wanting to feel heard, you know, they're done with like disappointment, they're done with sadness, and they'd rather just be numb and go through life, chase their career or chase drugs or chase pussy, or you know, like chasing different highs that emotions can't give them. The emotion happiness or joy can't be felt anymore, so they go for short dopamine hits like gambling or, you know, addictions, doom scrolling to avoid an emotion. Like, you don't know how many times I would feel an emotion that was not very nice, you know, like it was not an emotion that I wanted to deal with, and instead I would just distract myself by laying in bed going like this until the emotion was gone, spending money on stupid shit like retail therapy or something like that just to kind of get over that emotion. And now it's a whole society of men that just don't feel anything. And I'm not saying that men need to be very overly emotional. I feel like it is so necessary for men to be in tune with their emotions and understand them. Like, yes, I know a lot of it's going to be hidden because we got to do what we got to do, you know, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But I think it's important for men be in tune with your emotions. Like, understand, okay, this is what sadness feels. How am I going to navigate this? Or this is what happiness feels. Let me cherish this moment and try to create more memories. Okay, my ring light keeps falling, so this is going to be the lighting for the rest of the video because that shit is fucking, like, absolutely making me livid. But I still remember, like, what it was like to be emotional. Like, I remember, like, the intensity of life, you know? Like, life was so intense when I could feel everything. Like, when a girl ripped my heart out of my chest, the feeling of the world fucking crumpling on me. Watching my parents argue and just feel like, fuck, like, how am I gonna save the world, you know? Like, how am I gonna do this? There was a certain joy of being real with someone. Being present and not being just stuck in my head, trying to navigate what the fuck I'm even feeling because I don't know what I'm feeling anymore. And that guy is like gone. And I feel like there's so many dudes out there that used to be this way. They used to be so... I have friends. While I'm recording this and talking right now, I'm thinking about some of my friends that used to be like the most emotional, soft guys. I was kind of the friend that was like, yo, stop being a little bitch, you know? Like, they were softer than me. Those people now, like, you can't even get a single emotion out of them. Can't even get a how are you feeling. So there's this whole generation of guys that just go, I'm good, I'm chilling, you know, we're life. like how many of you, when you're asked how are you, go, I'm good, chilling, doing solid, you know what I'm saying? I'm working, I'm doing my thing, one day at a time. You know, like, how many of you say that? Or like, just straight up, I'm good. Like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Like, how many of you guys say that? Probably 90% of you watching this video. That's just your immediate response. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when we were young and we would explain what was wrong with us, and that was a healthy emotional communication with the other person that we were speaking to? Like, do you guys remember that? For some of you, it could be so much longer ago. But for me, it's really only like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Maybe 15 years old, I stopped feeling emotional. So for me, I can very much remember a time when I felt emotions, you know? But now I feel like I walk through life like a ghost with a heartbeat. It feels like I laugh when I'm supposed to, and I say I'm fine when I'm not. The world seems to like me better that way, when I'm that way. When I go along with the flow and I don't speak out of character about how I'm feeling, it seems like everybody's a bigger fan of me. A girl in my life is a bigger fan of me. My parents are a bigger fan of me. My friends don't really notice any difference, you know? Like, it seems like everything just seems to go better when you don't have the emotions, you know? You avoid the arguments, you avoid the fights, you avoid the disagreements, and you can almost curate this fake little world for yourself to live in. For a while, it's just fine. And I'm trying to gain it back. I feel like I'm developing some emotions. There's somebody in my life right now that is teaching me how to have emotions. And it's pretty cool because I can see in like 3 to 5 years, I can see myself having emotions. Like, I can see the journey and the road that I need to take to get there. But for now, I don't get like hurt anymore, really. I don't really get hurt. There was periods where I did, but because of protecting myself from being hurt, I also don't get excited, you know, like, there's no happiness to look forward to. Certain milestones, they don't like, I feel nothing. I just hit a recent milestone in my 401k, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a retirement account. I just hit a nice milestone. It looks really pretty, and I feel absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. This milestone would have me in the top 1% of 20-year-olds in the world, and I feel fucking nothing from it. There's no satisfaction. I'm numb. I don't feel shit. Nothing could really pull that out of me, you know, like gratitude, happiness, like, nothing could really pull that out of me. I don't cry, but I don't laugh from my soul either, you know what I'm saying? Let me put this into one sentence for you guys. I don't know if this will make any sense, but being emotionally numb as a man is like trading the roller coaster of life, you know? Like, a lot of you guys probably are like, God damn, life is a roller coaster. Like, I was happy and then I was sad. Being emotionally numb is like trading all of this, like having the highs and the lows, and just trading it for this. And just trading it for a flat line. That's what it's like to be emotionally numb. Like, people say numbness is protection, but it's really just like pain disguised in silence. You know, like, you're choosing to be silent. And that sucks, man. I wish we could open up a little more, you know, and like be in tune with ourselves. Sometimes I wonder if I could like get back to the old me, like the emotional me that loved without fear. And then you always just look at that and you're like, oh man, what's the cost of that? Like, how many more heartbreaks can you go through? I don't know if I could handle feeling all of that again. And I'm gonna try, because there's people in your life that deserve the real you and the emotional you, and you have to try to give it to them. You have to try to give them some part of it. Being an emotional man seemed to break me, and being a numb one keeps me from falling apart again. So it's kind of why I stay the way I am. You're not weak for having emotions as a man. You're not weak. You're not a little bitch. You know, like, people care, man. People care. I know I care. When a man truly opens up to me and is emotional, it means the fucking world to me. Like, when he could really break down his emotions and like explain to me what's actually going wrong in his life and what's actually making him upset, that shit means the world to me, because I'm like, damn, I know that was a lot from you. The title of this video is probably The Duality of Being Emotional, or like the duality of an emotional emotional, man, or something like that. And I hope this video could I hope I articulated well something that I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling. And I hope that I could kind of make this a safe space for a lot of you guys to kind of hang out with each other and for you to feel heard. You know, I hope I could be the spokesperson for what's going on in your mind that you can't get out onto a video or a paper or out in conversations. Be emotional. It's okay. Cry. It's okay. Bitch. Complain. It's okay. Fucking be a human, man. We're all humans at the end of the day. And yeah. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope the Texas setup doesn't look too crazy or weird or out of place. But I will be home soon. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.